All right. Welcome to the Mind of Nobodies, and today we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. You know, we've already been talking about some crazy stuff. You know, the summer's coming. Just got done watching some Game of Thrones. so yeah. So my bad. You're here with Elijah,
Devaney,
Dexter,
Miguel.
and we got ones on the ones and twos. You know, so to hit off of what we was already talking about is how you feel about a good relationship being in a bad relationship.
Yeah.
There you go.
Make it make sense. All right, we'll start.
Yeah, make it make sense because it didn't really make sense.
All right, so
yeah.
how do you feel about a good relationship being in a bad relationship?
What do you mean
We're gonna
by
make it
that?
make sense.
A
All right,
good
so
relationship being
I
in a
feel
bad
like
relationship.
yeah, like some people be delusional. Not saying that anyone here is a delusional,
Bro.
well, a delusional ship. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I was like, see, Miguel's already made it make sense. You know. But yeah.
Hear Miguel.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, I can't hear anything.
I can't hear
Matter
anybody
of
either.
No.
This ain't even plugged in. Why do we have these headphones on?
You guys are just smoking. That's
It's
pretty
not
funny.
it.
No, it's
No,
not plugged
it's
in.
not plugged
Oh.
in.
Yeah,
But the mics are, so that's all that's important.
facts. So
Hold on. Hold on.
I can plug it in real quick though. The
Hold
headphones.
on a second. Because now you got me tripping.
Well, the thing is, it's only not plugged in because when I have
Technical
people hang out over here-
difficulties.
You need me to stop that?
You don't
You
have
ever
to.
seen
I can
Idiocracy?
plug it in right now.
No.
Oh, watch that movie. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's on. The headset's on.
Is it? I still can't hear.
Really?
I can only hear from this side, actually.
You broke it.
Ooh.
All right, now.
This
Ouch.
one's louder than this one.
Well, as long as you can hear.
Yeah, we
So-
got sound. As long as we got sound is all that
Well,
matters.
shit.
Let me take off the echo. All right, so Miguel, can you repeat what you said? Are we still going?
Yeah, we're still going. Before we have Miguel's answers,
Okay.
Elijah or Dexter, where can they find us?
Oh yeah, you can find us YouTube Minds of Nobodies, Instagram Minds of Nobodies, Facebook Minds of Nobodies, TikTok. We're gonna be on TikTok Minds of Nobodies here shortly. Yeah, just give us that like, follow, and subscribe. Send us to your friends.
Facts.
All right, Miguel. It's all yours.
Oh no, I just said it's a delusional ship.
There you go.
Like
That's how you-
delusional shit.
Oh,
That's how you
it
make-
is delusional ship.
Yeah, that's how you make. That's how you're happy in a bad relationship.
That's how you make it sense?
How long does somebody stay in a delusional ship
Until it gets hard.
until it gets hard?
Until it gets hard. Until
What
it gets
gets
hard.
hard?
Where
dealing with
the
the other
idea
person.
of them together doesn't necessarily work out.
Do you feel like there's times where a person stay or goes deeper into a delusional ship because they feel like they've done
Hands
so
down, people
much
double
already?
down all the time. I know I'm
Yeah.
guilty. I was guilty of it for sure. Like I
Wait.
doubled down and I was like,
It's the-
damn, I
it's
should
the
run, cut and
gambler's,
run. But yeah,
handbook.
Right.
exactly. But I fucking double down and be like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Do you feel like
Sometimes you just gotta see it through.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Do
do you feel like people who's been married for like so many generations, their grandkids, they're almost grandparents now and all this other stuff, they stayed in a delusional ship because they've been together for so long? Or
Most
do you
definitely.
feel like
I think culture has a lot to do with my experience, you know, because I come from farm folk in Mexico. So I know culture had a lot of, you know, you stick by your man no matter what, and that's what they instill in their children. So it's definitely a taught behavior, you know, instead of being like, hey, you know, if it doesn't work out, cut tail and run, you know, make sure that you're happy and you can take care of yourself. And this is something that I wish someone would have told me, honestly, but it's not.
how do you tell somebody?
Long as you don't got kids, you can.
Yeah,
run.
yeah, exactly. As long as you, but once you get the kids, that's when it gets involved. Like, and you never know, and you never know. Honestly, sometimes you think you know, like, oh, hey, I'm done, and like this is it, and it's not.
So all right, so Devin, you said as long as you don't have kids, right? But you're getting in that investment where anything could happen. You know, that's literally how we had kids. Anything could happen. And
Yeah,
then the next thing
exactly.
you know, especially when you're in so deep. I feel like I've had some friends where it's like they're in so deep that they feel like, oh, a wedding's gonna change everything or a baby's gonna change everything, and then when it actually falls apart, it's like it's that person's fault. Oh, I had a baby because of this person. They made it seem like they wanted to have a baby so bad, and everyone else was like, no, don't have that baby. Now it's their fault that you went that extra mile to be like, you know what, this was gonna make it better. Or you put on that ring,
if you
it's
double
like,
down on the. See, this is the
Yeah.
thing. You're gonna gamble, and it is a gamble because it's you're betting on someone else, and
Right.
that in itself is the conundrum, you know.
Right.
So
You got better odds at the blackjack table.
you just got to go into it with some kind of knowledge of what the odds are.
all right, well, do y'all ever hear your friend talking and everything they say just sounds delusional, and you're just like, I'm just gonna wait.
Hey, sometimes you gotta support their.
Now I'll support the
I-
crazy. I'll be like, you know what, fuck it. Like I get it. I tell you, I told you so, but you're gonna make the mistake either way.
Yeah.
So
I had a homie. He used to live upstairs from me in my little apartment that I had, but he would say like crazy stuff all the time. Like, watch a couple months, I'm gonna be pushing this, or you know what I mean. A couple months, I'm gonna have a car, and he had like nothing when I met him, and he made all that kind of stuff happen.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and that's what all I tell people like that is just show me. You know, like I don't want to hear it. Let me see it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Right.
I think
You
it
can make
depends
it happen.
also on what the craziness is, right?
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
To your
how
point,
much you're
right?
risking.
right, because to your point, you're saying, well, my friend, was thinking, I'm gonna get this car, I'm gonna get this thing. It's delusional, maybe to some extent, because you don't see it, or maybe they're not practicing that or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? It's maybe early on their imagination, and then they make it happen. Right? At one point, that was delusional, but here he is now. That doesn't mean that there are not other situations where
Variables
you're saying
change.
something, but it's delusional, and it
Yeah.
really is delusional, and there's
Yeah.
no ending. Like,
Hey,
it's
man.
like,
Hey, sometimes crazy bets win.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly.
Sometimes they fucking win. But
Yeah.
that double zero is hard to hit,
But what can be considered a win though? Because that's why I talked about the people who got married young and and now they're grandparents and almost great grandparents, and they're like, we've been together through up and down. Like,
Yeah.
but what did y'all really go through? You know what
but
I mean?
what do you think?
Yeah.
That's a great question. But why do you think they got there? Because that was delusional, getting married young. But why do you think?
Or
they,
maybe even not young, just getting married. Not saying marriage is a problem or anything, but I feel like a lot of people, they do go through a lot of stuff, and whatever you can go through and overcome, yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people give up too early now, and just all kinds of things happen in a relationship. But
if you could point to one thing and say, this is why they made it there, even if you don't have the answer, if you could come up with an answer, you're like, I think they did it because of this.
because
What
they
would
felt
it be?
like there was no other way
Okay.
out.
No
They
other
felt
option.
like there was no better option. But I feel like that's my if you're giving me like a one answer type of thing,
Right.
I would feel like they've done so much and they don't want to start over with another person. There's actually a comedian that now she's divorced, and she talks about this as she's divorced, where it's like, I don't want another man be in my bed and I have to retrain him how to please me. Like, it was comical, but she was being real. Like she's done so much with this guy that no matter what he's done to her, he literally had to leave her for her to be like, you know what, I should have seen all the red flags, you know? But I feel like when two people are like, you know what, if she's gonna let me do this, I'm gonna keep doing it, and she's gonna go through it, I'm gonna stay, and they're gonna stay, and they're gonna stay. But if it comes to a time where it's like him or her are like, you know what, even though you've went through all of this with me and you stayed, it's really not gonna work out, because I feel like there's something better involved. But the person that's in that delusional shit, as long as that person's like, you know what, I will talk to you, I will make you feel like you're the only one, blah blah blah, even if you don't feel like you're the only one, as long as you stay, I will keep doing my thing, because as of right now, it works. You know what I mean?
I think you hit it where it's no other option, but it depends how you label no other option, right? Because if you say, because I have heard many people say, well, I became a millionaire because this is the only option I saw,
Yeah.
right? Like the saying, burn the boats because we're gonna die here, right? And I think it was the Vikings. The
Yeah.
Vikings
Yeah,
that when we go and take over a territory, they literally burned the boats. There was no way for them to go back home because they were either gonna die there or they were gonna conquer them.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it depends on how we label this is the only option I have.
I don't
If
know
that
if
makes
that's necessarily
Well-
true in every case, because they
Right.
have to take back the plunders back to their king, right? They bring the boats. How the hell they
Well,
gonna
it's
do
it's
that?
when they have no other options. It's like we're gonna fight. We're gonna really fight, and we don't want anybody to feel like they can run away because they're in a
Oh, okay.
foreign
So when it's
country.
kind of like, all right, I can see
Because
that.
it wasn't always let's burn the boat. It was hey, we're losing this fight. We need to boost morale.
Yeah.
There's no other way. You're either gonna die here
Right.
or you're gonna die somewhere. So the war is die for Valhalla, and you have to die on the battlefield
Well, I mean,
to
that's-
get to Valhalla as a warrior.
But
Yeah,
again,
the guy's been talking a lot. We need to hear Devin.
Yeah,
How do you feel
Devin.
about delusional shit?
I think some people just don't respect themselves or like know themselves and know
I agree with
enough
that.
to know that they deserve better.
Yeah.
I think when you know you deserve better, you just leave. Yeah, it's hard when you leave, but there's the saying like the carousel never stops turning, so you're just gonna have to keep going.
When I think it's that same mindset of, there's no other way out. So they actually don't see a way out to be in a safe space.
Exactly.
Like, it's okay
and so
to
they
leave.
stay.
Right?
But then there's people that know whatever happens, like there is always a way out. Like life keeps going.
Right?
There could be better.
Right?
I feel like a closed door is just redirection. So
Yeah.
maybe it didn't work out now, but fuck it. Is there something better?
Yeah.
If you ask a military person about a closed door, one's gonna say we're gonna break it down.
Well, I'll say this. One of the things that I've been learning a lot lately is, and this happens a lot here in America, we are too free to do whatever we want.
Shout out to
I
America.
agree.
Which is
I agree.
which is
Land of
great.
the free and home of the brave.
Right, which is great, but it also comes with its challenges, right?
Yeah.
We don't have great relationships with our partners. Marriage ends in divorce because we have all this freedom to do whatever. Like, there's no longer that commitment of, no, I can't do that because I'm dedicated here, right? Because we grow up where we can do whatever we want. And it's been, the waters have, gotten so murky that we lost someone the understanding of what being free means.
See,
And-
and my thing is, I think it comes more with technology. The more with
That's
technology grow, I feel like we lose that because we can have so many interactions and connections in
Correct.
a matter of seconds.
Correct.
That we don't even need the person next to us because we're getting validated
Yes.
over here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's where I feel like we lost like that culture of America because you think about our grandparents. Our grandparents were unhappy as shit sometimes, and they stayed together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Well, and the attention that we're getting, it was just from that little town.
Exactly.
It wasn't from the whole world.
yeah.
But even
And
so,
bitch, if you live in a town where everyone is ugly,
god damn.
You gonna sell it.
Nah, hold on.
gonna
If
sell
you live in if you live in a town
You gonna
where
live-
everyone is average, let's not say ugly,
let's
average,
not label
I feel
people,
like
please.
I feel like you get a better connection with the people you're around because, I mean, I don't know. You literally, if you're gonna hang out with someone that you're not attracted to, and you become attracted over time, it's because you've actually got to know that person.
Yeah. You like them internally, not externally.
Right.
Like you ugly, but you alright, I guess.
You ugly,
You
but
average.
you can definitely cook. You ugly, but you listen to my side.
But that's the point that Dexter, is making.
Beauty's
it's
in
so
the eye of the
easy.
beholder, right?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. A lot of
So, I
times.
mean,
Yep.
people
But
forget
it
that.
is true. I mean, we get so much attention
Why
from
do we forget
everybody
it?
that it's hard to say
Because we're
this is
judgmental
the only
assholes.
vision I
That's
have
why.
because all these other people are giving me attention too. So it is something that really matters. But this is why I've been listening to a few therapists on YouTube, really great shows, and a lot of them have to do with relationship. And one of the first things that he says to someone who says, oh, I've been cheating on my wife, or my wife cheated on me, or you name it, whatever problems, whether it's financial or whatever, one of the first things he says is like, you're not the same person you were when you first married her.
But you're still ugly.
It's not in regards of looks. It's
Oh,
more
okay.
in regards of how your character has changed.
Yeah.
And it could be because of the time, the neglect, the cheat, the money, whatever you want to call it. And so he
I have another
focuses a
question
lot.
about that too.
What was that?
I have another question about that.
ahead.
So I know everyone here has had to have heard about the you're not ugly, you're just broke.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
But
right,
that applies
right,
to
right.
men, though.
Yeah,
That applies to
That
everyone,
is
bro.
that
That applies
right,
to
right.
everyone.
Nah,
For
Nah,
guys,
nah,
you're
nah.
not ugly.
What was
you
it,
just
Chris?
need a
Chris
haircut.
Brown's mom. Have you seen the surgeries that he paid for his mom?
Who's?
I think it was Chris Brown. Like it was one of the.
He did, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and she
Chris?
looks way younger now than she did before the surgeries. I'll tell
Wait,
you that.
Chris
Yeah, but I'm
Brown
saying
paid
she's
for
not
his
gonna give
mom's surgeries?
Yeah, like
See,
once it
the-
became like famous. This is a while back. This is fucking.
I remember that, yeah.
See, I think that more applies to though, like
So you just
a
broke.
rich woman is not gonna give attention to a broke man.
No.
But
No,
a
but
rich man would give attention to a broke woman.
so that's a
I
great.
think
That's
more-
where I feel like that.
I think
saying
women
comes
with,
from.
with money go after ugly guys.
You think
Real
so?
talk, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah,
I feel like they
Women
go,
with money.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Women with
Okay.
money, I feel like they go after ugly guys because they feel
Yes.
like he's gonna be more right. I feel like he's gonna be more like
Like I'm ugly.
Like you-
yeah.
like
I don't think I'm ugly, but I definitely know that when a woman has money, that the first thing they do is they have like long conversations with me. They try to get to know me. I'll be like, dang girl, you got all this money. I'm intimidated. You know what I'm saying?
They're not interested
Yeah.
on the looks.
Right. They're interested in somebody who's gonna do them right. You know what I'm saying? And they probably feel like an ugly guy's gonna do them right. Little do they know.
Here's the
Like,
thing. Sadia Khan, who I've mentioned before, she actually lives in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And so a lot of high value men live there, men with a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they
And
got
they-
like 6 wives.
But not only that, they attract so many women. But here's the thing. The women, although they're the finest women on earth, for whatever, whether it's surgery, natural, whatever you want to call it, they are gorgeous. They're 10, 10, 10.
I heard they be getting pooped on over
Here, well, that's a different story.
I know, right? Damn.
But here's the thing, though.
Way out there.
But those men are not happy with those women because those women are shallow. They're only attracted to them because of the money.
Right.
Right? They do talk to them like they want to be talked to, which is why they're like, oh, well, come over here, because they say the right things.
Yeah.
The same rule applies to women, to your point, who has money, because they can attract men and get that pleasure side from men. But at the end, it goes to the point where they're like, well, yeah, this is fun, but it's not really what I want.
Right.
And so that's when they start looking, to your point, average or maybe
Now-
ugly men.
And even in some countries in Asia where the women work more
Right.
and they do more, they do most of the activities, they look for men who's gonna be the dad of the family.
Right.
They're literally paying men to be the dad. And in some of these Asian countries, he has so many families that he goes to. If you want to look that up. But
I know in Korea right now they're giving you like X
they're-
amount of money.
They're
Well,
wanting
there's a
people to
reason
get
why,
these
right?
women pregnant. Yeah, because it's a low birth rate right
Yeah,
now.
you need a
It's
Well,
like
who wants to live there?
right. So are we going?
I'm sure
are we
China's
going to
gonna
those
suffer from
countries
that
and they're
at some
like,
point because they're one child law.
Yeah, that's China.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone wanted a male, so now they outnumber them like 3-1.
right? But think
crazy.
about it. These countries that are like just like Korea, these countries that are like we need men to come and help the birth rate come up. Are they like, hey, Tinder,
Why is that
this
funny?
is the one? You know what I mean? Are they
No
saying
one's
this is
on
the
there.
one, or is it these men are walking down the street and it's like, hey, we need to get pregnant. What makes this man suitable? Is it his looks? Because these if they get in there, they're not worried about the money. They're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the women have the money.
The women do have the money.
Right.
But they're not. I don't think they're looking for the most handsomest man in the movie store, idol. They're not looking. I want to know what they're looking for because I'm signing up.
You gotta you gotta know how to change diapers and feed babies, bro, and make them burp and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's easy.
I don't
So-
know. I know these older women with money, they'd be playing the field as bad as men.
Yeah.
So
The
No, go ahead.
crazy thing is, I feel like, especially they're we hold women to a certain standard and say that this is what women want, like the choices and stuff like that. But I also feel like that when a woman likes a man, there's so much that she'll let slide.
Yes.
And
that's a problem.
right, like
Same
girls,
for a man for a woman though.
huh?
It works both ways.
Yeah, it
Yes,
works
yes,
both ways,
exactly.
and that's what I'm saying. Like men are held to a different standard, but women are held to a different standard. The thought of the standard, you know what I mean? But finding out that the freakiness that women hold, the things that they'll say and do, and it's just like, dang girl, I didn't even think you was like that. You know what I mean? It's all held to a different standard when she likes you. Like two guys can go up to a woman and one can be considered cringe and weird, and then the other can say the exact same thing, do the exact same thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, she's so romantic.
Different strokes for different folks.
Because it's when she likes you, or when you fit her standard. That's why I gotta go to Korea, because they just trying to get pregnant, and I probably fit their standard.
So
I have semen.
there's a couple of things that you mentioned that I wanted to point out. The first
About
one,
semen?
That too.
Okay.
But you mentioned, this, women power empowerment. Mexico yesterday had their elections.
Yeah.
Yay.
Shout out to Mexico.
Shout out
Mexico.
to Mexico. A huge W for women.
Okay, and that's what I want to hear.
Hold
right?
on. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
No. Let me just point a few things out. So Mexico was gonna make history because there was 2 women running for presidency. There was a guy too, but everybody knew that one of the women was going to win. So regardless, it was looking like Mexico was gonna end up with their first woman president, and so
Nice.
that happened yesterday. She won by a landslide, 60%. 60%.
She got bought out.
nomination.
Damn,
She got what?
She got bought out by the rich.
She got bought out?
Like the rich put her there.
Oh, okay.
That's always how it goes though. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
puppet. It's always a show.
So-
That's okay, though. Because it's a win. Like, a win's a
It's
win.
a win. A win is a win.
Right. A win is a win.
Win is
No,
a win.
because the exact same thing when Barack Obama was running for president.
Right.
A lot of my white friends would ask me, "Why are you voting for him?" I was like,
Right.
"Because we've never had a black president." And they'd be like, "Well, what if he messes up?" I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like first of all, you're gonna criticize him no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and then my own people's gonna criticize him no matter what.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's
It adds
it's
a layer.
right. It's the you're on the playground and never get picked first.
Right.
Your confidence is gonna be low. You're either gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna prove to everybody and work hard,"
Right.
or you're gonna be like, "Man, no one's probably gonna pass me the ball anyway." But the first time you get picked first, you're gonna be like, "I want to always get picked first."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the mentality. Which the mentality there is, a woman can be president. Now, even if she bombs out,
Right.
women know that, hey,
They
they
can get
will
there.
vote for me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do better than her. So that
So-
woman that's like, hey, she didn't do good enough,
But
I'm
do
gonna
it,
do
yeah.
better. You know what I mean? They're in that position that they know that they can take that win.
So I want to point out a few things, and then Deb, I want to hear from you. I was hoping Fabi was gonna be here. Unfortunately,
I
she's
know.
not. But a few things. To your point, the bought out aspect of it. The current president did endorse her, so that was already on her favor. Her name is Claudia Sheinbaum. She was a doctor in science. So she has, experience with that stuff.
She's an educated baddie.
Yes, and she
She
was
own
a
it.
mayor. She was a mayor in a town in Mexico before she pushed for all of this.
What town?
I can't remember. I know I took notes earlier, but I forgot.
Also,
about
how
it.
long do people stay president in
6
Mexico?
years.
6 years. Okay.
So with those things, clearly she is someone who has a good background, in my point of view, with her education.
Mm-hmm.
But you said a win is a win. Tell me more
But
about
I
it. What do
mean,
you
they
think?
also killed like 30 candidates.
They did.
They killed. What you mean
They
killed?
like they
The real government killed them.
the
They're-
I
they're-
don't know, the cartels, I guess.
They killed.
They
Oh,
killed
okay.
like they died.
Well, if she bombs, at least her last name is she bombed.
I mean, for her
There
to
you go.
survive 30 people being killed,
Yeah, there was
that
definitely
is
some
also
craziness
a win.
there. Yeah.
that's a super win.
Well, that's so to
For you to
the
be
light.
favored enough to not be killed,
Right.
That's like saying that we're
Are
gonna
you,
run
hey,
this.
it's not even if you're favorite. Are you valuable enough?
Right.
Facts.
Exactly.
They killed off
They're
30
not.
people.
They're not
They
playing
killed
checkers. They're
off-
playing chess.
Yes.
Killed off 30 people. That's
Yeah, so-
crazy.
So one of the things that Elijah was pointing out with President Barack Obama are, to me, the first thing that came to mind was like, wow, Mexico, first woman president. That's crazy. Great for this country because of, how masculine it is and
Exactly. A lot of women die in Mexico. Like, they get
the
murdered.
feminist,
Yeah,
feminized or
feminicides.
something like that. And so
Yeah.
that happens a lot. And so it
Feminicidios.
feminicidio in Spanish, yeah. And so this is going to open the doors for other, countries that have a similar tradition to kind of open their minds a little bit more. So I thought that was great.
That's scary.
But then it came to my mind, at the end of the day, we're talking about politics in Mexico, and they're not the ones who run the country.
Right.
It is different entities that run the country.
The cartels, pretty much.
And so it just makes you wonder, she's going to get criticized, especially if something off goes with this, underground kingpins or whatever they are, cartels, whatever the label is. And then it's going to have that added layer that she's a woman.
How often when people are running for president in Mexico or any country that they get killed by
Often.
the gangster part? Often?
Often.
See, that's
Well, yeah,
real
there's-
gangster to come
look,
up
there's
in there.
3 of them who made it out of 30.
Yeah, that's crazy, crazy. That's
So, and even in my small town where I grew up, and unfortunately it is a town in Guerrero. Guerrero is really dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
My brother was into the politics over there. His party won. But then once it was time for them to get removed, they had to get up out of there because the new party might have done something to them.
Yeah,
And this is a small town, bro.
my family is politicians.
There you go. So they know all
Damn,
about
shout out to
it.
being a survivor in a
That's
death
how I
cult.
knew. That's
And
how
a-
I knew they were bought out.
And so it's a little, so it's one of the sad truths in Mexico. But again, every person that has gone against these entities, they end up dead.
Yeah.
The only way to kind of overcome this is to either fight it really hard. The problem with fighting it really hard is going to be a civil war. And lives are going to get lost. Innocent lives is going to get lost. Or, you're going to have to consider maybe legalizing, all this stuff.
Right.
Speaking of civil wars, do you guys think we'll have one?
Um,
Another one?
We're
know.
due for one.
We're always due for
I
one.
think we're closer than most people realize. Just living your day-to-day life. But yeah.
Think about how so when we have like soft and sensitive times where people are living at ease, that's the main time when people feel like they can infiltrate. And right now in America, I feel like with everything that's going on, we need something to fight about, right? And we have the silliest things we're fighting about that matter to people, right?
Yeah.
But as we're fighting about these silly things, we're getting more at ease of what could be instead what should be. So if a time of war happens, that's when all these silly arguments go from, I don't care how you think, you have to be this person because we're gonna die if you're not. You know what I mean? So this is me talking without trying to offend anybody or get canceled. But really though, because I got friends on both aspects, and I know how my mentality is, and I know when I'm in the military, the mentality of what is and what needs to be. But yeah, we fight over silly things, and if we do go to war, your mind has to be right. You have to be willing to kill people. And the crazy thing about being so sensitive in a time of this person might need to get taken out, a lot of people don't load their weapon and shoot.
Right.
A lot of your people to the left and right will get killed because of your mentality is everyone needs to survive or this needs to happen, So when it comes time to have a war, it's what country is going to be the easiest to target
Yeah.
and take over and capture. And right now,
conservatives aren't happy because didn't Donald Trump just get found guilty on all charges?
All charges.
all charges.
On
43.
all charges.
34.
Is he still able to
Felonies.
get voted for though?
Yeah, he's still.
I'm
Yeah,
sure he
he's
would.
still eligible.
I don't know because he's
Yeah.
a felon now.
That's
Felons
a-
can't run for
Oh,
president.
well,
they can't even vote.
They can't vote, but they can't run for. Can we look that up?
Yeah.
They,
Because if he can
I
run,
think I saw somewhere that they can't vote, but they can still run for
I
All
think
right,
they
let's
can.
see, let's
Because
see.
if he can still run, I'm gonna register because I like chaos.
Yeah, I'm an agent of
I really don't be
chaos
caring about anything. Like, people be mad at me about a lot of stuff, and I can argue it. But even in the military, when I was like, "Do you think Donald Trump has a chance?" We don't think Donald Trump. I was like, "He's gonna win."
So-
I seen a video of him saying,
It says here that not only can they run a campaign, but they can also be elective.
"Yeah."
Oh, okay. So
I was lying
so they
about
can't
me
vote.
registering.
And I think,
I was like,
to be honest, if he runs again, I'm sure he will win again.
I'm sure he's
I'm
gonna
sure
because
he will.
this will
Yeah.
make him even more like, he's more like us, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's
He
a
literally
martyr.
said, "Go up,
fucking
I'm
just
felon.
go up
Martyr,
and touch her
exactly.
right in the pussy." Yeah. When he said that, I told anybody who asked me, "Do you think Donald Trump's gonna win?" I was like, "Donald Trump's 100% gonna win." He says things that's like people want to say
People
it,
wanna hear
but they
it,
can't
yeah.
say it anymore. Now he's a felon. Like,
People are gonna relate.
He just got cooler. Huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
he just got cooler. So
We-
no matter
we-
who he
that's-
is,
we like the anti-hero. Why do we like
he
Deadpool?
like crazy stuff. They've made every villain comic. They've made every villain comic a hero. We got
Lex Luthor.
Deadpool. We got Lex Luthor, but we have
Magneto
Venom,
and the
Venom.
one first class. He was
Magneto.
really cool.
Yeah.
Everybody who used to be a villain is now someone that we can relate to
We
and be like,
sympathize.
maybe they got a good point. They may have a better point. Black Panther and damn, I cannot remember the bad guy. But I sympathize with the bad guy, especially because he was trying to fight for
Killmonger.
Killmonger, yeah. Killmonger. I sympathize with him so much, you know what I mean? Because it's
Was
like,
that
I'm going to
Michael
fight
B.
and make
Jordan?
sure my
Yeah.
culture lives.
That's why you sympathize with him.
Yeah.
Not because of his points.
She's like, I'm sympathizing.
Right.
I'm a simp for him.
so many
Nah,
crazy things in the
just
world.
kidding.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I wanted to point out, obviously a win for Mexico
Facts.
presidency. But another thing that you pointed out or that you mentioned is some of the challenges in relationships, and maybe some of the secrets that we have and how they make us act. Did any of you watch Baby Reindeer?
No.
No.
Okay,
All together.
and that's fine. This is a spoiler, so
I've seen Baby Shark on YouTube though.
Nice. So there's only two things that I wanted to point out from this show. I'm not gonna tell you about the whole show.
Oh, it's a show. I thought
It's
it
a
was
show.
movie.
It's 7 episodes, I believe. Really good show.
On what?
It's a Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, so Netflix and chill. People.
I seen it. I seen it,
It's really good.
but then
though.
I skipped it.
I understand. Anywho, so the show itself is pretty crazy. It does center on two people. The first person I want to talk about is the
Bless
guy, the main dude. He's being harassed, and he doesn't know why he's letting this harassment go on. Right? You watch the show and you're saying, "Well, just
Reminds
do
me of
this or just
someone I
do."
know.
Right? You got all these logical answers of why he shouldn't be dealing with this thing. But it gets to a point where he actually finally explodes. And he's a comedian, or he's trying to be a comedian. And one of his acts, where he's already in the finals, he's in a competition of comedy, he's doing well. And this is his final act. If he does well, he could win the tournament or whatever. And he just explodes and goes off. He talks about all these issues that he has, and the point where he actually got touched, or what's the proper term?
What do
He
you
got
mean
SA.
touched?
He got SA.
What's SA?
Sexually assaulted.
Okay.
And so, because he was trying to be famous too,
Yeah.
and so he knew this person that was trying to make him famous was doing things to him, but because he wanted to be famous so bad, he let that happen.
That sucks. It happens a lot. I feel like
Okay.
with
I
every
think
aspect.
a lot in Hollywood that happens.
I think a lot
in
in just
Hollywood.
reality. Someone wants
weirdos.
something so much that they let other people
Abuse them.
abuse them. Yeah. I feel like yeah, it sucks that it happens in Hollywood and in such a extreme version.
Ex-
But I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people want things
Day-to-day
so
basis.
bad. that-
Weinstein, no, recently?
Oh yeah, that's
The
still
producer?
Hollywood. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
still Hollywood. But yeah, I get when Elijah was saying that it happens more on a common basis than people realize. It's
and
not
maybe
on that
not to
extreme
the
in
extreme.
yeah,
and
to
sometimes it will.
or in the limelight.
Yeah.
You
Did
know.
you see the
Even though we have
Nickelodeon
sexual
documentary?
harassment, huh?
Oh no,
The
no,
Nickelodeon
yeah, no, I heard
documentary?
about
the
it.
Nickelodeon document, another
Yeah.
crazy
Disney,
story.
all of them
Yeah.
are like not really there. All the Disney teens that are adults now, they're really not there,
They're
and
damaged.
they're changing how Disney can how the contracts are for these little kids that are now becoming the new characters of Disney. You know,
The new
they can do a little bit
sensations.
more. They are leaving Disney to be on other shows. You know what I mean? But at the time, they were trapped, and not only were the kids trapped, the kids were trapped more than the adults.
Yeah.
But the adults were trapped in the kids because the kids were under a contract, and the adults had to hold them up to it. So it was like, what parent is going to listen to you? And if you grow up where your own parents is really like, just stick it out of there. You wanted to do this or blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
They're living also vicariously by their kids.
Yeah.
'Cause they probably want them to be
They
famous
get half
themselves.
that check probably.
No, they get most. If your kid, if you're getting a check and your kid is underage, you're getting that whole check. until they're
California
old
changed
enough
that.
to,
Yeah.
California
13.
did change that because of what happened to Gary Coleman and all them.
See,
childhood
yeah.
actors. So it was a problem, and there is laws in place for that.
And I feel like it's
Childhood
still a
actors.
problem. And
Yeah, I believe
even
it
though we
is,
have
yeah.
sexual harassment charges and stuff like that, there's still so much you can do when you feel like, hey, I'm going to get this next check. There's so many. Let me make it seem like if you do this for me, tit for tat type of thing. You know what I mean? Like if you do this for me, I'm gonna do that for you. And the next thing you know, you're in a environment where you're doing so much for that other person that you didn't want to have happen to you, that you just feel trapped. You doubled down the wrong way.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the crazy thing. We were talking about being delusional, right?
Yeah.
And, obviously his goal was to be famous. And so you can see how he got groomed, little by
talking
little.
about Gary Coleman?
Not the Baby
Who
Reindeer
knows, man?
show.
The reindeer. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see how he got groomed just little by little, like, oh, try this, oh, try that, do this, and it keeps escalating, and you see at the end, he finally, he gets, essayed, and
Is this a true story though?
yeah, it's a
Okay.
true story, and the ending, it's even crazier, because they have an extra episode, and the guy who is acting out the character, he's the actual guy that went through this situation. So he wrote the thing, and and he acted on it, and so you just don't realize how much you give to try to achieve certain goals, right? And in reality, that's how it should be, right? To achieve certain goals, you gotta give certain things. But what are those things, right? We talked
Right.
about being delusional, like. Which one is a delusional situation that you should be chasing, and which ones are some that you probably shouldn't be chasing, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how you make your best educated guess.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. I mean, because no one has the answer to that.
Take the
'Cause
information,
otherwise,
yeah.
everyone would be successful.
Yeah.
All I gotta
100%.
tell you kids is if they want the booty, it ain't for you.
Yeah.
Isn't it also crazy?
That's how you know
Hey,
it's a no
but-
deal.
and the crazy thing is, isn't it crazy that you can have everything you want, but you grew up in a limelight as a kid, and now you grew up and it's probably a minor. No, it's fine. Right?
It's like-
Yeah.
You're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan.
Facts. But no, like everybody's not fully there anymore. You know,
Everyone's
what I mean?
not
because
like
of their
us.
situation. Yeah, their situation is just like it changes them, and everyone can't relate. But yeah.
So
they're
here's the
not
crazy thing, right? So that happens to him, right? He gets sorry, I'm trying to use
Oh, the
certain
little
words so we
reindeer.
don't get
So
kicked
don't
out,
get demonetized.
Yeah, and so there's certain that happened to him, and he's dating women, but he just can't find that person, and then he started dating men, and he just can't find a
still not,
connection.
man.
He ends up dating this
Reindeer.
trans woman.
Okay.
He ends up dating a trans woman, which was funny because I was like, well, I guess that's like right in the middle, right? Like best of both worlds. and it actually has somewhat of a good relationship with this person, but you see that his attitude changed after he got, SA'd, and it messes with you mentally.
Yeah, of course. You get
With-
scarred for life.
Exactly, which is why when he exploded, it was like, yeah, and that got him famous. Actually, just him talking about what happened to
Yeah.
him actually got him famous, and which is, I mean, he made a movie, obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard thing to do though, for sure. So good kudos on him,
Yeah.
you know.
For sure, yeah.
And so that brings me to the second point I wanted to bring up based off the show is, talking about it. One of the things that I've mentioned before, how do we have good relationships, or situationships? How do we change a situationship to a good relationship? And what I've been hearing from different therapists that I hear in podcasts and different shows, the first thing they say is to work on your own wounds, your own traumas. Like, go work on you first, because one, you're gonna learn how to heal. Two, you're gonna get to know you better,
You're gonna know your worth.
and you're going to know your worth. Exactly. That's why it's so important to work on yourself. Which is, again, in this guy's case, that's why he did. He finally exploded. He said exactly what has happened to him in front of a whole bunch of people, that it kind of let that, that cut that he had, it kind of helped. He finally removed the Band-Aid to start healing. It was just that action of talking. Letting, this happened to me. And so...
Do you feel like you have to sacrifice, like, knowing your worth? Do you feel like sometimes you have to cancel out your goals? Because getting there, well, the thing is, I asked that because it's like getting there, you may have to say no to so many people that it's like, all right, this is your worth, but you have to belittle yourself to gain a little bit more, because every actor...
You should never have to belittle yourself.
We shouldn't, but we do. That's the thing. Every actor that talks about how they got there, they also talk about the
they
doors
were
that they had to let close on them.
Well,
The
I think is if you ask more than you could give. You're a good negotiator. Cat Williams, for example, where they wanted him to have...
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted him to do certain things, and he was not okay with. He didn't go right out and say, no, I don't want to do it. He said, hey, you know what would actually be funnier? If instead of, Magic Mike was supposed to get S8.
S8, yeah.
And he said, that's not...
I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's funny. It'd be funnier if, like, grab the dude's plier. And he wrote that into the script, which, he changed the outcome, but not by being like, hey, guiding,
He either went to therapy or he's just like really good at that. Cause I've been seeing like a lot of behavioral videos like for kids, and they teach that like instead of saying no,
Yeah,
you can't
just
do
alter,
this,
yeah.
just like tell them what they can do.
Exactly. Instead of saying like, hey, instead of breaking my dishes, how about you sit the fuck down?
Well, here's the thing, and one of the challenges I think that we face, and again, this goes back to my my comment of being free. It's such a free country that we are free to do whatever we want, that we have not, personally, I can tell you personally, I did not know about boundaries. It is something that I started learning as an adult because of things that were coming up to me. And I see my son, he has great boundaries. He is quick to say, no, I don't want to do that. Like, he's really good at that, and I admire that from him. And it just, it hit me to think that I can't believe it took me so long to understand boundaries. And I'm still not good at them, but like that, personally, I think that's a huge challenge in this day and age. Now, when it comes to going to...
Because we had no boundaries.
Exactly.
As
I
kids.
think also growing up in a Mexican household, you're always forced to like say hi to your family members. Maybe not just a Mexican household. Maybe I don't know.
No,
about you
it was
guys.
definitely, we definitely was supposed to walk in. If you walk into a room, you have to say hi to everybody there.
Yeah.
And
And
if
you
it's
have
an
to give
adult
them a
that walks
kiss,
into a room,
and you have to give them a hug,
yeah.
and it's
But a
like,
lot of times-
unhand me. Why are you touching me?
But a lot,
And
but a lot of
grandma.
sometimes that it's not explained. That it's more a behavior, and it becomes oppressive. It becomes an oppressive behavior, right? It also it opens the door for some men to maybe touch their nieces in a certain way that they
Exactly.
shouldn't. Which, to your point, in Mexican culture, it has happened a lot, where those behaviors are happening, and I think it gets lost in translation. You know, it's a respect, it's a way of culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took my son to a birthday party. I forced him to go, Mexican birthday party, and the main guy, the one who's celebrating the birthday for his daughter, he's telling my son, come and play. He grabbed him. He's like, come and play, and his wife, who I work with, she's all like, don't do that to him. Let him go, and it didn't click with me initially because this is what we do as a culture, right? Like, hey, go have fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's like, yes, I understand that that's how we are. But, you know, your son, he's not like that, you know? Maybe just let him ease up to it. And I was
He's
like,
an
you're so
introvert.
right.
It's a culture shock for
Yeah,
sure.
it was definitely a culture shock. And that's why I took him too, because I want him to know.
Dude,
And
my little man's half white. Yeah, I take him to these things all the time, and he's always like, you know, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know.
He's like, "Can we
He
use
has a good
that?"
time.
Yeah.
He has a good time because he gets to see his family, you
Yeah.
know. But he's not used to it because
Yeah.
it's not the normal.
And that was our talk back home. I told him, listen, you know, I just want you to know, like, I'm not expecting you to do these things. I would love to because it's part of my culture, but at least I want you to know about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just interesting. Again, the boundaries thing, right? I just didn't realize how much of a problem it is, especially when we're trying to achieve certain goals. There are certain things that we have to say no to.
Right.
You know, if I'm on the grind because I'm trying to make this money, I gotta recognize that maybe this right here, although it's so much fun, I probably shouldn't partake on it because it detracts, right? It doesn't help me a lot. Or if I'm gonna have fun in that environment, maybe it's my call. You know, I'm just taking. You know what? I'm
I
gonna.
say work hard, play hard.
There you go.
Facts.
But you gotta know those things. To Dev's point, you know your worth. What's your worth?
Yeah.
But that's just, I don't know. I just thought the show was really good. It pointed out a few things that I thought it was really interesting. The show itself is pretty good too, well made. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that you can take off and be like, huh, I never seen it that way or thought about
I
it.
kind of want to watch the show now, just to be like, it's pussy. No.
Yeah.
But dude, that crossed my mind
Just
many
kidding.
times.
Yeah.
You did.
What was you saying? Toxic?
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You know what? When we go
That's
to
not
the
even
time
a
of
real
war,
term.
right? If we ever go to war and America has to go to war,
Where's all those
all
toxic
that,
bills?
oh yeah,
Yeah, where are they?
we need a man to be a man. That's the crazy thing.
You're getting
about
ganged
it.
up. I'm sorry. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, but for real though, like when I hear certain things, it's like I do think about time of war, and we do have to adjust. In the military, you have to adjust, because you are bringing people in that are like, I don't want to be touched, I don't want to be talked to, don't yell at me, and yeah, we have to have healthier scenarios, but but that's also the scary part of it, because if someone feels like, oh, I can't take yelling.
I can't take
We
it.
only need certain seals to get caught. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because some people's gonna be like, this person, they held my hand for too long. I'm about to tell all the secrets. You know. And,
well, I mean, I doubt those people are making it past the screening process to be a SEAL or anything important.
but if we're adjusting to
This day and age.
society, if we are adjust
Yeah,
and
but
we
it's
keep adjusting, I'm telling you, we adjust and we keep adjusting. There are people where you feel like, how did you get through it?
Yeah.
Even the PT test is, you run at your own pace right now. A 2-mile run, you used to have to get it in like 15 minutes, 16 minutes.
Damn.
If you're older, it's 17 minutes to the point where you're so old or you're so hurt that you can walk it, but you have to walk it in a certain time frame, or you can't be in the military. Now it's, oh, you're a nurse, you don't really have to do any walking. You can actually come to 2 miles in 2 minutes, like someone who is over 65 years old. You can come and you can pass the 2-mile run within a 20-minute mark. They are adjusting every little thing. Do not yell at people. when they say shark attack in basic training, you can't yell, you can't do certain things, you can't cuss. These things will still happen, but if someone reports you, they may let you slide. Your superiors may let you slide, but they may just get on you.
Okay,
Because you know that
I do have a question though. Like you
ahead.
said, that was a nurse. So do you think it's just because it's job specific? So if you're in the field, say like something that's more active, you have to still follow.
You have to
So
be faster in a.
That's just playing chess, not checkers. Like, why would you utilize someone who's extremely brilliant for something that is minimal as,
Yeah, but
being out in the
you
field.
also want, if they have to go to if you need a medic in the field.
Because everyone's a
you want that
soldier
medic to
first.
be
Go
able
ahead.
to-
Yeah,
you want the
everyone's a
medic to be able
soldier
to
first
handle-
until they're not. Like we forgave the Germans the Nazi crimes that they did because of the
Yeah, only
scientists.
because they gave us.
With
yeah,
your
they gave us a
question-
lot of
with your
technology.
question-
And I watched that movie Oppenheimer.
Yeah, so
But with
what
your
I'm saying
question-
is that, like,
South
you
Park
know,
is-
they risk the value. Like, hey, do we want to lose them because they can't run that mile, or are they more valuable in a different asset?
And I get that. I get exactly what you're saying.
But I think
Now-
that's exactly what Elijah is saying, like making those adjustments.
I was like, hey,
My bad. My bad.
Juan is on it.
exactly what he was saying.
No.
You repeated exactly what
All right, so look, when it's all said and done, you're a soldier first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everyone, because you're a soldier first, if they put you on the battlefield, you're a soldier. You know, and they want you to live up to a certain standard. Now, yes, every job, if they're going off of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, they may be more valuable behind the scene instead of in
The
open
front
field,
lines, yeah.
but everybody on the front line is still getting a little bit easier too. You know what I mean? They're not having to work as hard,
Yeah.
and you can get kicked out. Just having that job title, you still can get kicked out and not change the job that you have.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just what it is. Also, everyone that gets that job is not qualified for that job all the time. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
people are gonna be lazy. Some people are gonna sit back. It's like coming to this podcast. If even though we are all the talkers, you still need to know every job in here. Because you're a soldier first, and we may switch you because we need you in somewhere else. So if you've been sitting around being like, oh well, I can get fat and lazy, and then they're like, hey, we need you to be on the front line. Guess what? Your fat and lazy ass is gonna be on that front line, being fat and lazy. You know what I mean?
Well, there's
Real talk. That's literally how it is. You can go to a company, and they be like, hey, we don't have we don't need you for this job. We need you for a different job. You're still gonna be doing the runs for the job that your title is, but we're gonna need you to do more activities. And if you can't keep up to those activities, guess what? You're still gonna be there. You're still gonna be doing these jobs, not being able to keep up with any activities. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
and it reminds me of something that Jordan Peterson says. He says there's two quotes that I thought about when you were talking about learning how to be a soldier first, and then whatever if you're a medic or whatever. But he said you should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it. Like be a beast, but tame it. Like you don't need to be a beast at all times. Just learn how to be one for when you need it.
Yeah.
Right? And then he quotes also Lao Tzu, that he says it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Right?
Facts.
Just
I
be
like that.
prepared even in times of peace.
I like that.
To your point, I really like what you're saying that, well, if he's a doctor, then, why waste, that great
Yeah.
mind and this, whatever you want to call it, these activities. But, I mean, I just think it's, again, that's something that I personally am trying to work on as well, learning how to be a beast and tame it. Because I think I'm tame. I'm not a beast at all. Like, I'm trying to be a beast now. But, like, it makes so much sense to me to be ready to take that action, but knowing when to use it so I can be cool, calm, and collected. And then if it's something, shit hits the fan, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But that's just...
But no, it makes sense what you're saying. The scary thing is, I feel like they keep on making it easier and easier as it goes. But yeah, for
I just
everybody.
thought Starship Troopers when that was said because what Dookie Howser was that guy Neil Patrick Harris his character didn't even take the test because he was straight to the top. because of the IQ, and that's why I was thinking. All right, so they're not playing checkers; they're playing chess.
Yeah. No,
See,
that
and
makes
then
sense.
there's a thin line between Full Metal Jacket. If y'all seen that, in the very beginning, basically basic training was too hard. They kept picking on a person. They was hazing them, everything, and he killed this drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Before he graduated, he killed his drill sergeant because he was like, enough is enough. You know what I mean?
Fed up.
The thing is, yeah, we do want to compromise and say, hey, these things don't need to happen. These things can't happen. You know what I mean? Like, you can't push a person to their limit. But at the same time, to get someone prepared for war, because if we do have a war with all these, oh no, we have to be considerate of how this kid feels or that kid feels.
Am I okay to kill you?
Right. You know
What
what
are
I
your
mean?
pronouns?
Right. Right.
Have you seen that
Yeah.
video?
When you don't grow up, it's tough. When you don't grow up with that toughness, you are gonna your mentality is gonna hesitate when it comes time to pull the trigger or to protect or to do that. But when you have a mentality where I'm gonna get there right into action, and this is what I was trained to do, this is what I'm supposed to do. When it comes time to it, it's just
Second nature.
Right.
Should be.
Yeah. It's like that video you were talking about that I think they go to a haircut place and I think it's
Yeah,
LGBTQ
yeah.
or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Do I
And they
have your
sit
consent
down
to
and the
touch
lady
it?
asks, well, what's your pronouns? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so nice out. She, did whatever. I don't know what the pronouns are.
But yeah,
Can
I
I
do
touch
feel like
you?
it's a lot. You know what I mean? To be like to sit in a barber chair and
Yeah.
someone to be like, "Can I touch you?"
Yeah.
Like, duh, bitch. Then what the
That's
fuck?
why do you think I'm here? Like, is this hair gonna cut itself? Fuck.
That can be.
If it is, you'd be out of a job.
So how much further are we
Yeah.
gonna take it? Are we gonna be like, "Can I touch you?"
Can
All
I
right.
shoot you?
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I
don't
think
know about it.
consent should only be asked for things like touching you sexually.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like in the massage therapy world, we have to say, "Can we touch you?" And we explain what's going on.
I
Now-
do like that.
Yeah.
I
Now,
do like
that.
if someone's
that
coming to
one-
get
I'm like,
breast
shut up
work,
and rub me.
right? No, when someone's
When Elijah's giving you a rundown,
Well-
like, you're good.
well, when someone's getting like breast work or work where a doctor says these things need to be worked on because of surgeries that happen and you want to
Because
like
you gotta
stretch
loosen
out
up the
their-
boob.
Well, you have to loosen up the scars, the scars.
You do.
So scar tissue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You want it to be stretchable and elastic. You want it to flex. You don't want them to. You don't want it to like score up where they can't really move.
Yeah.
You want
No,
them
you
to
gotta
be
loosen them
mobile.
up.
You
I
have
want
to
that job.
explain to them, and
When I
you have
learn
to make
about it, I
sure they're
wanted that job.
comfortable with how you drape them. Because
That's why
some
you didn't
things
get
do
it.
show sometime, and some people don't feel comfortable with that. I get that.
Sure.
If someone has scars in certain spots of their body, I get that. But if you're coming for a haircut, it's like, hey, I'm gonna cut your hair. Can I touch you? Dude, that's annoying.
It's just-
Yeah,
That's
I
what
would've-
it is.
I would've-
Is a
I
haircut
would've-
intimate though? That's what you gotta ask. A
Yeah,
massage is
haircut-
How
intimate.
intimate is intimate
Like a haircut is not very intimate to me.
to you? Yeah,
To me, but
and
I
that's
don't.
the scary thing about the future. How intimate is intimate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a fair
I guess.
point.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I-
touched me, sir.
Hand me,
sir.
peasant.
You know.
All right. On that note, it's time to go.
Fuck off.
Go ahead, take us out, Def.
I still don't know how to do that.
Dev's like, you take us
Real
out.
quick, again,
Disrespect.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Minds of Nobody, YouTube, Minds of Nobody.
There we go.
Hit that button.
Right.
Press
All right.
my buttons. Press my buttons. Don't do that. I lied.
All right.
All right. Well, this is Mind of Nobodies, and we are out. I'm Elijah,
Devaney,
Dexter.
Miguel.
and we got wands on the ones and twos.
peace out, y'all.
Peace out. Beep, deep, 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 deep,
This is
deep, deep.
Halloween.